How did Bowling Green go? Here's a hint. It's a lot of footage. Stay tuned. All right, gosh, man, Bowling Green, the Nostalgia Fall Nationals.
Classic.
Nationals, classic. We're going to talk about that a little bit, and the curse is broken, but let's get to that in a little while. I got my brother, my partner, my teammate, Corey. How did you do?
I sucked as always. Actually, I don't even say I sucked. I was perfect all year.
Perfect? Well, was you perfect?
First round runner-up, every single race.
That is awesome. Well, it was a great time. We had a great time with friends and everything, and we do have a lot of footage to go over. So I wanted to kind of jump right in. Friday, we had test and tune. You did a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And then we went right into qualifying on Saturday. We ran all 3 qualifiers on Saturday. The first one, I went up there and raced a Camaro. Didn't do anything but I had 150 pounds added to the car, and we'll kind of see how this plays out. I've never raced this guy before, which is odd because I always seem to race the same people all the time. And there was a little bit, there was some newer cars there that we haven't raced with before, and this was one of them. So I was taking the right lane. Again, did not know anything about anything of how this car was going to perform.
The only thing you did know is the passes that I had made, it was kind of indicator of what the weather was doing.
Yeah, and by the way, you made that 9.008 pass in test and tune
the day before.
Yeah, so you had gotten your truck dialed in all the way. And this one here, what was my light on this?
22.
Yeah, 022 light on this. Oh. And look how straight that thing's going.
I know. I meant to tell you, I watched all your videos.
Yeah, I can tell you, there was a couple times when I was looking over my shoulder.
And it was driving?
It was driving itself over, or I was driving it over. But that was a
22 light with a 032. So 10.032, which is arguably not bad. I think, you know, if you do the averages and stuff, that's probably a winnable race.
Yeah.
Little slow. An 03, especially what you're going to find out in the qualifying list here in a couple, you're going to find out that is not a winnable race. But you know, years past, that is a 22 light with an 03. You can still catch some.
Yeah, at least finish in maybe the top 10 or so if it stays consistent all the way through.
Yep.
The second run actually was against the same guy, but we just swapped lanes, and how that happened, I don't know. But again, when you go up to the line during qualifying, it's whoever's next to you is who you're going to race. There is no, unless you decide beforehand that you guys want to race each other. But so I ended up with the same guy twice. He was having a hard time getting to his time, I believe. I did take 30 pounds out of this to try to get it to slow down. I mean, theoretically, I was an 03, 30 pounds out would have got me, but the weather was changing at the same time. So it should have got me to where I needed to be. That was at least our theory on that.
But we didn't do the equivalence, the RC Cola equivalency.
Yes,
where we didn't equip the heat soak, blower heat soak.
Yeah, the heat soak, yes. So again, straight pass. Did not get the helmet view of this, but of course you can see him over there. And
so you had a 002 light with and ran a 1007.
Yeah.
So 070 light or 070.
And look at my 60 foots from the first run. It was a 41, and the second run was a 43. No, I was wrong. 41 and a 41.
No, 43 and a 43.
Okay.
Those are two very consistent 60 foots.
Yeah. Yes. The third qualifier, I ran Shane Gill in this radical truck he's got over here. What is that, like a 30-something Chevy truck?
No, it's not a Chevy, it's a Mopar.
Mopar, oh, it is? Yeah. Okay. He is a 9-second car. He is fast. And this is reminiscent of the days I used to race you at Ohio Valley. You're just gone.
Yeah,
so,
he's fast.
In qualifying, we leave at the same time, so there's no handicap starts on this. So, unfortunately, but it didn't really matter, was I red lit during this one. Don't know why I red lit, but I was tinkering with the perfect reaction time, and I just dropped way below it for some reason. So it was definitely user error. And it looks like I took out another 70 pounds on this pass, and it got me right where I needed to be. It got me at a 10.001.
And that actually made you number one qualifier.
Made me number one qualifier. First time either of us has been number one qualifier.
Yep.
I think we've both kind of like been close to it, but not right where it needed to be. I think I've done a 10 with a flat with a 4 before and been like third or fourth qualifier in the past, but this got me number one.
And what I caught. Now, this son of a bitch over here.
Yeah.
Dead on with a 1.
Dead on with a 1, baby.
That may be number one qualifier.
That's what I'm saying.
We all may get our picture taken tonight.
If it counts with,
Yeah, red light still counts. We're qualifying only, obviously. Yes, it counts.
Hey, I love that we're all doing good. You know, I mean, I'm fast, but I'm always fast.
You're close, though.
I'm so close.
yeah, you were.
So, you know, it's there.
Let's really quickly talk about your 60 foot, because you had a 143 with a 7, a 143 with a 9.
Yeah, those are
the first
close.
two, and then you had a 145 with a 7. So
So my 60 foot slowed down.
Yes,
but yet
you
I got
sped
down
up.
to the line faster. But but the weight change, 70 pounds out of my
But
weight.
if anything, it should make your 60 foot faster, not slower.
Yeah, you would think. Yeah.
So we got to figure that out.
Yeah, so been dealing with this all year as the 60 foots are changing. There's a swing of about 6 numbers or 3 numbers either way, so a total of 6. And you know, when you have that issue, your ET is going to change, and it's going to be a little harder to get it more consistent. But I was happy with that number one qualifier. Can't beat that.
Got to party that night knowing that you were number one,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, and got the cool picture. Here it is. Yeah.
And then the next day.
The next day is eliminations. Now, being number one qualifier, you get the bye, if there is a bye. And you can see the guy did not know what the heck was going on either. All the cars had gone by, I was the last guy in line, and all of a sudden I look over and there's this guy sitting next to me. It confused me. I was telling the line guy, hey, you know, I'm number one, I'm going by myself here. He didn't understand, and that guy pulled in behind me. He had 1050 written on the window, so I kind of felt like I got screwed out of my bye. But it was just a confusing moment. The guy that I ended up racing, I guess, was not at his car when the rest of his group went to the line. So he came running back later and got in his car, and you know, he ran me. And like I said, he had 1050 on the car when I glanced over, but I was confused because when he left, I was sitting there already on the trans brake, and it got in my mind something's wrong because it was longer than a half a second that I was sitting there waiting. So my reaction time was horrible. And he's long gone. I mean, I'm starting to catch up with him at the end, but you know, there was no way I was going to make it to the line.
And you didn't, I just noticed that you did not do stay the course on that one. You were supposed to let out if you couldn't catch them, and you stayed in.
Oh yeah, that is true.
And that would have fixed that right there.
Yeah, that is true.
Because you end up running a 997, which
that is a very good point. I didn't even think about that.
In a way, though, it worked out for you because you needed a full pass in order to predict the future.
For that day, yes.
But you know, a couple things happened here. You know, I don't think nobody's necessarily at fault. You know, when they originally did the pairing these cars up, you were supposed to run Butch.
Yes.
And then when that guy wasn't there to line up with his competitor, they went ahead and what's the word?
Staged?
Not staged, but they repaired.
Repaired, okay.
The rest of you again.
Yeah.
And that caused you to end up having a bye,
yes.
which was your benefit.
Yeah.
But the amount of cars that were in the staging lanes, you shouldn't have had one.
Yeah.
It was just because of this mistake.
Yes.
The problem, though, is that 1050 guy should have ran in his class. If he wasn't there to run in his class or his series index, he should not have been able to run. The reason being is if any other time, if I didn't want to run, say I was an 11.0 car, and there was only one other 11.0 car up there.
Yeah.
And I knew he was way better than me, like he had beaten me all year.
Yeah.
I would just forget to get to the staging lanes soon enough.
Yes.
And then I'll run the one in the very back.
Yeah, I agree.
That's not how it should work.
Yeah, you should race with your time unless you were the last one in your line that goes to the next speed, in the next class. But what the problem with this one is that it actually saved me that he was actually indexed at 11.
Yeah.
And he would have beat me had he not been indexed at 11.
Yes.
So his car said 1050, the track had him at 11, so he broke out worse than I did.
He turned in his tech card with 11.0 on it.
Yeah.
He never did change it.
Yeah.
So we never talked to the guy afterwards. There's nothing, we're not mad at him. Although he should have been with his car when we were racing.
Yeah.
If he had to have to do a bathroom break or something, that's, do it before or after.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure where he went because his car was in the staging lanes.
Yeah.
But he was lined up with the 11.0 cars.
Yeah.
Even though he had 1050 on the window.
Yeah.
I heard, I'm like, why is it my, and I hesitated because I was like, oh shit, something's fucked up. And look at my reaction time because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. No one to tell me. And even the guy that pulled you into the lane, he didn't even know what was going on. So I'm running 1050 car. That's all I had. How did I win though?
Well,
I broke out. He
because
didn't.
he ran out, he was 10:58. He was,
I broke out. He didn't.
maybe they just let him I don't run. know. But you're,
He had a 333 reaction to your 190.
He crossed the line before.
yeah, because he
Red
was,
light. Did he? No, he didn't.
no, because he was caught, he was 11 or something.
You to look down track control.
I didn't pay attention. I was like,
Well, that may be where the fucked up was that they had him dialed on 11 and he ran 1050.
oh, that's it, yeah. But he had 1050 written on his car.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways, doesn't matter. We passed the first round. So second round comes by. Okay, I'm going to get the bye this time. Well,
Turns out
I didn't.
somebody broke or something because you should have got the buy.
I should have got the bye that time, and I didn't. So I ended up running a.
So you also, let's go back real
Okay.
quick. The first round there was 46 cars.
Yeah.
I know they said 45 on the qualifier sheet, but there's actually 46 because there was one car that wasn't on the qualifier sheet that showed up.
Okay.
That's the reason you wouldn't have had the buy.
Bye
in the first
anyways.
round.
Okay, so I would have
So
run Butch.
46 fixed 6 divided by 2 is 23.
Yeah.
So should be an odd number. So somebody broke and didn't show up.
Yeah.
So you still have to go to the side.
Yeah.
And the number one qualifier has to be race either by himself, get the bye, or he races the last car, which is the fastest index.
Yeah.
Generally 850, sometimes 9.
Yeah.
So you got paired up with my buddy, I love him, Jeremy.
Yeah.
And got to run him an 850 car.
And he's another 64 Nova, and it's you said it was an 850, right?
Yeah.
He's an 850 car, so he's going to be taking off quite a bit behind me.
Yeah.
And
1.5 seconds.
1.5 seconds, and honestly, I don't think I've raced anybody yet that's come up on me that fast. So this was going to be an experience.
A lot of innuendos.
Innuendos, yes.
There's a lot of them in drag racing.
No one's ever come up on me that fast before. But this was an interesting race, and a really nice guy. I met him before and chose lanes and all that stuff. And I was hoping for the left lane all day because that seemed to be the most consistent for me.
You got the choice of the left lane.
For
on
the
that.
first two.
You should have had them all.
Yeah.
But another.
Yeah. So you watch this and you can see him. He's still sitting there. All of a sudden, wheels up and he's in the air and he's coming on fast. Watch my face, man. I was just like looking, and watch it. Boom.
Yeah. So what I told you before this one, when I told you in the first round, I said if you end up running Butch, you won't see him until probably maybe the mile-an-hour corner. You will see his front bumper.
Yeah.
And that's really about how it played out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And I womped it. It sounded like 2 times. Not knowing, but then I second guessed myself after I saw him because I couldn't see him. I womped it twice and then got back in it, and luckily my nose was in the front.
The curse is broken legitimately. I'm gonna get this car, brother. And a brotherly hug.
Nice finish for me,
Look at those reaction times. 19 to 15. Yeah. He came up on me so fast, I thought I lost it because
I was like, lift.
I did.
I know.
But he came up on me, I thought he passed me. Oh my God.
What was the margin?
Oh, 50.
Nice.
Yeah. So I talked to him afterwards. He changed the converter out the night before, and he was hitting the rev limiter.
Oh,
so
okay.
he would have never been able to run his number anyway.
Yeah, okay.
But the problem is when it's a slower car, you don't get to see him until right there.
Yeah, you don't know.
And especially that big of mile an hours. You know, he was running 154, which if he was all out without rev limiter, when I was trying 850, it was like
60 something.
160, 161.
Yeah.
So at your 135, he is going to pass you at 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of mile an hour. It's hard to judge that, especially the slower car.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
And that goes back to dialing honest.
Yeah.
And
yeah, exactly. Dialing honest is one of our things that we're
so
trying
you
to
womped it, I heard at least once there.
Yeah.
And you ran a 10.117. But look at that reaction time, Chris.
Yeah, 19. That's on it, money, man.
To his 15.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been a good race.
Yeah.
If he
it was a good race.
Yeah.
I was excited. See, the thing was not one time during this whole day did I look at the wind light. So I did not know if I won or not until I got to the booth. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was surprised when I saw the win on there because I was like, damn, I just pulled it off.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. So, getting into the next one, this to me was probably one of the closest races I had all weekend, besides one other one we'll get to. But this guy was another 10-0 car.
Which you went, so in gas, you index the first two, maybe one, and then we go to ladder. So for him to draw another 10-0 car in the ladder was just luck. Because there was only one or two of them left.
I think this whole weekend was luck, man.
Oh, there's some luck.
Yeah.
But hey, I've watched these videos.
Yeah.
You have been doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. So if it was luck, you earned the luck.
Yeah, it was. This was a good race. And you could see how close it's going to be. What was my light on this one? Oh, damn. 009 light on this one to his 14. So it was close still, but that was a good light for me. But this is the guy that I raced last year, my last race in Bowling Green, that the car went to the wall. My car went to the wall, and I had to let out. So I never really got to race him. But this was a very close race. And look, I put my visor down, thankfully. There we go. Watch, you can see him right next to me the whole time.
That's a fun way to race.
Yes. And I'm watching him, and I'm trying to make a decision. I let him go up just a little bit on me. And I took the win by, I would say, probably a half a fender, maybe.
For all those audio listeners out there, you didn't hear any whomps this time.
No, you did not hear any whomps. Should we even reveal the secret?
Well, I mean, it's not a secret.
Yeah.
You revealed it in another video.
Yeah. So we've learned that
for our setup
and the way we've got it, I've done so much better scrubbing the brakes versus womping it. And so I gotta get out of the habit of womping it because I lose too much boost out of my blower when I do it. So when I get back in it, it's not full boost, it's not full power. At least I scrub the brakes, I still got the full power there. And so that worked out really well.
So here's how it went. Yeah. So I was running another 10-0 car, and we were neck and neck all the way down. And I used the Bill Hamilton scrub your brakes. That's what I did. And it worked. I was a fender on him, and I crossed by probably a bumper. Yeah. Margin of victory, 0.0018.
Can't lose, baby.
I think for me too with it is I think it's a lot more delicate.
Yeah.
If we're dialing honest and then just barely scrubbing, it should put us where we need to be.
Yeah.
And you can, it's very granular.
Yeah.
You can get exactly where you want it.
You're not going to throw yourself off 300s or something like that. It's going to be right about where you want it. Mm-hmm. So the next one, this is a guy named Terry. I met him in the staging lanes and stuff. Of course, he took my left lane, so didn't know how this was going to play out. And this guy, you can tell this guy's been racing for a while. And his Camaro is beautiful, and it looks mean as shit. So I didn't know what to expect, and he was a 950 car.
Still get a clean light.
So I guess still get the clean light. And I remember sitting there, and he didn't want to stage right away. So I was trying to play him off a little bit and see who was going to go in first and everything. I personally like to go in second, but it's neither.
Now that's revealing something.
I mean, first. Going in first. But yeah, so this is a pretty good race. So since he leaves a half second later, it doesn't really seem like that much, but a half second is quite a bit. but he was able to catch up with me, but I was able to get the win light here.
Looking.
Yeah. You won't see him until across the finish line. There he is, right there. So I had him, same thing with the previous race, scrubbed the brakes on him a little bit. I did get a good light on him at 15 versus his 53, so that helped. I think it was, that was.
So you remember when I was telling you that we're going to get to it? Because I know this video. We were talking about reaction times and then dialing honest and going too fast and all this. This is a perfect example of it doesn't matter if you're even dialed fast, as long as you use the methods.
Yes, as long as you use it, yeah.
You will get there because you had a better light by a lot and you scrubbed the brakes, and yes, he broke out, but he had to chase you faster to try to get to you.
Yeah, right.
But this also comes down to if he would have done his program, if he wasn't catching you, he should have let out.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and we'll see that exact thing happen with the next elimination run.
Blood Brothers not all Blood Brothers, semifinal Blood Brothers.
Yes.
I guess.
So we're down to 3 cars left out of a 40, what'd you say, 46?
46 cars.
46 cars total. We are top 3 right now, so I have 2 races to go. If I can pass our teammate Bill and his Fox body. He is an 11-second car, so he's gonna lead before me by 1 second. And me and Corey agreed to stay on the trans brake the whole time. Once you get the double bulb, to stay on it. And should be the next one there.
So let me. We had to wait. They had to clean the track.
Yes.
Which isn't necessarily a big deal, but at the later rounds, particularly this time of day, the weather changes a lot. So we sat there for almost a half hour.
I would say at least half hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah. And if we had weight in the golf cart, I would have added some.
Yeah.
But we knew, and I told you, I said it's gonna be a double breakout, or you're going to be running fast by at least 2 numbers. And, we talked about a little bit of strategy, and I'm sure Bill and Nick talked a little strategy too. They're our teammates, And
the thing is, since we're so close,
Yeah.
they know our strategy,
Yeah,
we know their strategy.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's
Nick was probably telling Bill, just let Chris fuck it up.
Yes, exactly.
Just let him fuck it up.
And here we go.
That was their strategy.
Exhibit number 1.
So, but what I told him is, you're going to be coming up on him fast.
Yes.
A whole half sec, or a whole full second, which would be arguably about 15 mile an hour, 20 mile an hour. Yeah. So you're coming up on him 15 mile an hour faster.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's gonna be in front of you. If you do not think you could catch him by the finish line, what are you supposed to do?
Oh, you let out.
Okay.
Or push him out. I mean, let him get. Push him out.
But it has to be at the very, very end so that he stays in it the whole time.
Yes, exactly.
Because he doesn't know, just like what you just saw beforehand with the running that 850 car, he doesn't know what you're doing back there.
Yes.
And
believe me, this whole scenario's gone in around my head since we left Bowling Green.
Yeah.
It's like, what if I would have just hit the brakes or let out or whatever right at the last second? How would that have changed the outcome here? But let's just take a look at it here. This was a very good race, and I appreciate Bill. Bill came up to me and said, this was probably the hardest race all weekend for him. And my view on this was, I'm dialing honest. So I have to have faith in my number, even though we did talk a little bit, it's probably gonna run a little faster than we thought. I had to have faith in my number that I was gonna run what it was saying. And of course, Bill's trying to burn me down. I think that was even
all
a
burned
joke.
down Bill.
Yeah, burn down. Fox Buddy burned down Bill. There we go.
Yeah.
But this was actually a really good race, and I did learn a lot from this. But you'll see how close it was. I was catching him. I was going to hit, and I was actually in my mind viewing the finish line where he was at. So I could see the finish line. I could see him. I knew I was going to cross the line first on him.
I could already, just by judging the
I was
video,
coming up on too fast. Too fast, yes, I will
So
agree.
you already should have started scrubbing the brakes by then.
Yeah.
But judging by his mile an hour, I think he may have scrubbed the brakes himself because I think he normally runs around 122.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
So he may have been. We could ask him at the banquet.
Yeah.
I think he was already kind of on the brakes just a little bit.
Yeah.
You may even see brake lights. I don't know.
I didn't see it yet.
Okay, but nonetheless, you ran it all the way out.
I ran it all the way out.
Yep. And what happened?
Well, I mean, I broke out worse than he did. It wasn't a horrible breakout. It was a 96 with a 7. He broke out also with a 97
96
with a 4.
with a 7 is a horrible breakout.
Well, I mean, I broke out worse.
Yeah.
I mean,
but we knew 2 numbers. The other 2 was, I think you were holding those all day, and you were just scrubbing the other 2 off.
Yeah.
But we knew at least 2 numbers you were going to be fast just in the weather change. You could feel it in the staging lanes.
Yeah. And that's going back to, the more we do this, the more we learn that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And now I'm thinking I should have just scrubbed the brakes, like you said. I was coming on fast, but I wanted to cross that line first, thinking my car was honest, thinking it was on money.
That when you, if I'm right, and he was scrubbing brakes a little bit when you got up to him, it may have not looked like it was, like I'm saying. Because when you were coming up on him, if he started scrubbing brakes, it looked like you were going faster.
Faster, yes.
So that may be something we should discuss with him to see what he thinks he did, because maybe that'll help you in the future. But as you were coming up on him, if you knew you were going to catch him, so you should have been on the brakes a little bit. You should not have ran 134.
Yeah.
Should have been like a previous run, this 132.
Yeah.
Somewhere 130.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So unfortunately, we were in the top 3.
Yeah.
We got 3rd place.
Yeah.
Lost our teammate, which I wouldn't have wanted to lose to anybody else. Yeah. Congratulations to him for getting 2nd place. He did not win his final. He got a little red light. He's feeling the blood light there, and got a little antsy. But he came out 2nd. And congratulations to our other teammate, Nick, for getting the championship in the Pro Comp class.
And he was biting nails all day because he red light first round.
Yeah, he went out first round for the red light, and he, lucky for him, the other guys that were in the chase kind of did the same thing.
Either the same thing or I think they were all red lights.
They might have been.
Well, I know Trevor red lit.
Yeah, what'd Shane do? Shane,
I'm not sure if he red lit or if it was a breakout, but he lost.
Yeah,
couldn't catch him.
Yeah.
So,
but congratulations to Nick, man. That is awesome.
Congratulations to you too. 7th in points.
7th in points. Yeah, and Bill's what in points?
3rd. I think.
3rd. Yeah. 5th or 3rd.
One of the 2.
Yeah. Anyways,
still better than you.
Blood Brothers had a good. Yeah, I'm still better than me. Wait a minute, but I'm still better than you.
Yeah, I'm 25th, I think.
Yeah, so I can't complain. Number 1 qualifier, 3rd overall, ended up 7th in points. I can't complain.
Good end of the year.
Good end of the year, and that means that we have to get ready for next year, which is why you see the cars behind us. We've got to do some winterizing, and
the best part about ending good like that is it gives you the motivation over the winter to want to not only get back to it, but to improve your program.
Yep.
And I think we have leaps and bounds all year, improved our program intermittently to where we are both very competitive. My deal is another thing in itself. A couple of them are my own mistakes.
But you got the truck
right
on the money, man.
Yeah.
And my car's been on the money for all year, and even last year. It's just me making stupid mistakes. Mm-hmm. So, and it's going to be the same way. A lot of it's luck, a lot of it's skill, but it's the luck of the draw who you get to race against. But we look forward to next year. Over the winter, we're going to come up with some videos for you guys, some how-to stuff and some fun stuff. So stay tuned for that. Please, guys, like and subscribe if you like what you see. We really need the support. We don't need the money, we need the support. Well, maybe we do need the money.
That'd be cool. Anybody got money?
Donate. We'll put your name on the side of cars. All right. Anyway, till next time, see you guys.
All right, see ya.